What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Nerd Cave, and I'm joined today with the bearded sultan himself.
Is that me? Robbie.
Jesus Christ.
How are you guys?
I'm just going.
It's okay. I got confused by it last week, too.
Did you say the bearded sultan to Allie?
I said the beardless sultan.
I thought I was going to say Bearded Sultan, and I was like, what?
Robbie's here? Where did he come from?
Today is episode 236 of the Nerd Cave podcast. We've been doing this for a long time. We're like...
A little over 236 weeks.
Yeah, we are like the ageless wonders of Mustafar. I don't know what I'm... Star Wars is coming out this week, people.
Oh, it is.
Are you excited? I know I is.
I get to go to Star Wars Trivia on Wednesday. And
Are you going to the Jay Christmas concert?
What do you think?
Yeah.
Is it Wednesday?
It's Thursday.
Shoot.
Yep.
Are you?
Yep. I'm going, and then I'm going to the movie like later.
I'm not gonna make it to the Thursday viewing of the movie.
Oh, I'm going to spoil the mess out of it then. I'm like, guess what? Luke Skywalker.
As soon as I hear,
Luke Skywalker
as soon as
is
I
a
hear, guess
Jedi.
what?
The last Jedi.
As soon as I hear, guess what? My switchblade's gonna come out right in your throat. You go,
Well, that's why you have to go, like, can't go, like, guess what? Like, say it's, like, old school Star Wars. You're like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe what happened. This. But you have to be like, Darth Vader's Luke's father. And everyone's just like...
I would literally have to not. I would have to force myself not to kill you.
I'm trying. I think it was my mom was telling me this. Is like whenever she went and saw like Sixth Sense in the theater. It was like whenever people were like coming out of the theater, someone was like, "I can't believe he was dead the whole time," and she was like, "Why?"
Yeah.
People like that
It's
are
like
stupid.
Homer on The Simpsons with... Can't believe Darth Vader's Luke's father. Oh, my God. So, everybody, each and every week, you can get this podcast early on patreon.com/nerdcave. If you give us the $1, you can make Robbie...
Hello!
We do live shows each and every week for our Patreon supporters. We also put up Let's Plays and all of that. Early access starts at $1. When in regards to Patreon, there's been some changes to processing fees and everything. I posted today on Patreon, but there's some things that are going to be changing. Right now, Patreon takes 5% of the money that is given by y'all, and we pay between 7 and 15% in processing fees ourselves. Pretty much means we aren't getting everything you give us, and we understand Patreon is able to pay its employees by that. On December 18th, though, Patreon is changing how they handle the processing fees. Patreon will take a flat 5% cut out of our earnings and pass a 2.9% and onto you, also a 35-cent service fee onto you as well. We put the link down below on the whole article that explains this. So let's say you're giving us $1. It's going to now charge you $1.38 for supporting us at $1 level. And if you pay $5, it's $5.50, so forth and so on. You can do all the math. Now, we understand if you are a Patreon supporter and you're like, if you're struggling just to pay us or you're only wanting to pay us like so much, we understand that.
Yeah.
This is something that a lot of people are not happy with, like creator-wise. Like, yes, we're going to be getting more money because of this, but it's also putting you in a different position because it used to just be $5. That's
and it's
it.
putting a strain on you guys, and that's not what we want. Yeah, we would rather it come out of our cut than what you guys are giving us, because we know, like, this is gift money to us.
Yeah.
Because you enjoy listening to us. But when it's coming out of your pocket, like, straight up, that's just not how we would like it to be. But we don't control what Patreon does.
Yeah. So a lot of us are voicing our opinions to Patreon and everything from the creator side. If you want to voice it from the patron side, you definitely are more than welcome to do that. Us moving forward, though, we're going to make sure that the content is even better than it's ever been. Like 2018 is going to be an awesome year.
It is. We're excited.
But for the people that are supporting us, we're going to make it worth that little extra that y'all are having to pay now if y'all are going to continue to support us. And don't feel bad if you can't continue to support us because of this change. We understand finances flux and all of that. Priorities do shift. So we understand and all of that. So just wanted to give that up front at the start of the podcast so everybody understands. I don't want anybody to think, oh, well, I'm giving $5, and then you turn around and like, well, where's $5.50 coming from? And all of that sort of deal. We want you to know up front before you, if you're supporting us or before you support us, that this is currently on December 18th what they're fixing to do. And it's a poor month to do it in because people are buying. Everybody's buying Christmas presents and all of that, and that's where Patreon usually dips anyway. So it's like, hey, why don't we? While the month is low anyway, let's go ahead and charge even more.
Let's just go ahead and stab them and not even cauterize the wound
in turn. Oh, processing fees, 35 cents. So I just wanted everybody to know that up front before we got into the show. And if you can't throw us any money, we understand that totally. You can go over to youtube.com/NerdCave Network and get the podcast segment
by segment,
day by day until Friday, where we put up the whole thing on podcast services and around the globe and also on YouTube. It's one of those nights, everybody.
You changed it up on me. You can't be doing that.
I know.
I'm set in my ways.
I didn't want to change it, but my mind changed it. It's quite warm in here.
It is toasty.
Yeah,
I don't think the AC's on because it's been so cold.
Boy.
I just helped him.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I guess that means we're going to just have to do this quickly tonight.
There you go.
But audio will be cleaner.
Audio will be cleaner.
So we're going to kick it off. I've been doing some polls in the Nerd Cave Facebook group. And
I've been dancing on them.
No. And it's been interesting. We've got one that we're going to talk about tonight because the podcast is all gaming today because there's a ton of stuff that came up. But the poll asks, what was your first video game console? And we see here we have a ton of answers. From the NES to the Game Boy to the Atari, the SNES, Sega Genesis, N64, PlayStation, so forth and so on. But the one that wins it out is, of course, the Nintendo Entertainment System.
The good old NES, baby.
Yes. My first console, I even voted for it. You can see my vote right there.
I voted for Game Boy because I put way more time into it, but it wasn't.
It's not a console.
I don't know. It's a handheld.
Not a console.
As
As Nick Caputo says, delete. He's like, handhelds are not consoles. And I'm like,
Wait, did you have a Game Boy or a Game Boy?
The Game Boy Color?
Yeah.
I had the Game Boy Color.
I had the color as well.
But did you vote for Game Boy?
I did, but I misread it. I thought you said I didn't pay attention because I thought it was favorite.
No, it says your first video game console.
Learn to read.
I didn't make it.
Read, boy.
I got to what was your, and I was like, Game Boy.
No, that is a good one. But if you want to get on the polls that we're doing, not the polls that Robbie was
not
saying.
POLE, POLL.
Yeah. We're going to be doing more and more of these. And it's interesting to see everyone's thoughts on this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's creating a lot of good conversations in that, which I really love. And that's the whole point of the community that we
Exactly.
have.
Like, everybody had just about an NES or a Sega or the Nintendo 64. Well, I know was a very popular console.
PlayStation 1, boy.
I had a PS1, PS2. I stopped at PS3, but I had literally just about every system on there minus the PC, minus the PlayStation 3.
I'm surprised that the GameCube isn't up there.
Yep. Well, it's your first.
Yeah.
A lot of our group, a lot of our community members are our age, so they started earlier on.
Started with that Duck Hunt and Super Mario.
Quack, quack, back. So there you go. What is your first video game console? If you didn't vote in the poll, let us know down in the comments below. Now, there's a ton of news. There is a ton of news, and we're going to just go ahead and jump into it. PSX Game Awards were all this weekend, so Derek
That's a
Daniel
lot of stuff.
sent us a ton of stuff to talk about,
Thanks, Derek.
and we appreciate it so much. We had to kind of cultivate a little bit.
We had to trim the fat off of this one a
Just
little
because there's so much going on, and we didn't want to take all night. So
Yes.
here's the best of from the weekend. Teaser trailer for new From Software game Poist. What
bit. Poist.
that
Posits.
poises that shadows die twice. Dark Souls and Bloodborne developer from Software has been fairly quiet since wrapping up the DLC for Dark Souls 3. At this year's Game Awards, we finally have a hint to what they're working on. A short teaser trailer shows a weapon or mechanism utilizing a skeletal frame covered in blood winding up. The backdrop is also sporting some blood, shows some mysterious symbols. The trailer then suddenly cuts to the tagline, "Shadows die twice." Hopefully we'll learn more about this game in the future. So I think it's Bloodborne 2.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I could see it. We're not going to be getting a
Another Dark Souls. They said they were
Yeah.
done with Dark Souls.
and I know a lot of people love that franchise. I hated Dark Souls. Like I consider myself to be a fairly good gamer.
Oh, you're saying it's really hard because you suck.
Like
Get good,
Like,
son.
it's
I don't even play it.
like I like games where
You actually enjoy playing them?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man.
I am
Dark
not a
Souls is
freak.
hard.
There are some things I can be a little bit of a masochist towards, but
Mass Effect Andromeda.
I'm
We
trudging.
couldn't name names.
I am trudging through that right now.
Yeah.
But I played Dark Souls, and as I was playing through I was like, man, I can't believe I died on that first level 8 times. And my friend was like, dude, that was a tutorial. I was like, forget this. I never played it ever again.
Wait, which one was it?
The first one.
The first one, okay. Yeah, I have a shirt for. It's just kind of Dark Souls in general, but it's got like the knight logo in the middle. It's like the Get Good gym, and on the bottom it says, "If you ain't dying, you ain't trying." It's like one of my favorite shirts.
I died so many times.
Oh yeah.
I was like, no. I was like, but like you said, Mass Effect. I'm playing through it. I had to take a quick break, and I started playing the BioShock collection a little bit.
Yeah.
BioShock is so good.
But yeah.
Yeah, so from the little teaser trailer, I think it's Bloodborne 2, to be honest. That, of course, is a PlayStation exclusive.
Yep. Yeah.
PlayStation locked that down when they should have locked down Dark Souls back in the day. People are also thinking that it might be Demon Souls. They're not going to go back to Demon Souls if they've taken off that long from the series. And
Yeah, it's been a
so
long
it's
time.
going to be Bloodborne 2. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm calling. I got one right later on. So
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's Bloodborne 2, and like the fact that it's like it says like shadows don't die. I'm assuming it's like because
Shadows died twice.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
Shadows died twice.
I think it's gonna be something along the lines where it's like you like because I guess you're like it's like another hunt, and
Yeah.
then you kill people, but then like you kind of have to kill like a shadow self of them or something.
Like Shadow Link from Ocarina of Time.
Or Shadow from
Sonic.
Sonic,
Or they're saying, forget Bloodborne 2. We're going straight to Bloodborne 3. That's
Yeah,
my
and then
prediction.
we'll come up with Bloodborne 2 next, and it'll be the prequel explaining what happened in 3.
That will be the DLC that you have to buy crystals for to pay for the microtransactions.
I don't think they ever did microtransactions.
I know
right?
they didn't.
Okay.
I just had to. I had to say it. I didn't say it last week.
We're too negative on this podcast.
I had to say it.
We talked about microtransactions last week.
Not like what we normally do.
Well, that's because we talked beforehand. We were like, I'm not going to do it this week.
Everybody's like, please stop talking about it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have to make the microtransaction compilation.
Yeah.